All right.
Yeah,
So, hi, good evening. It's Nancy Kupal from Kupa Cafe. How are you, Greg?
good. Thank you for joining my office hours. So, Nancy, I think
Thank
you want
you.
to talk about the Parklet program, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. I know it's coming up in City Council tomorrow, and there is something on the agenda which I do not understand why it's on the agenda on page 5, number 1.
Do you want to share your screen if you have it up?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's on a different computer.
Okay,
I'm
here,
so sorry.
let me bring it up. Give me a second here.
Yeah, I can read it to you while you bring it up.
Sure, go ahead.
It says, it talks about 2023, all the stuff they talked about Ramona Street. And then it says in the fall of 2024, staff will be initiating stakeholder engagement and
All
evaluating
right, well,
options.
Nancy, what number was that again?
Number 1 on page
Number
5.
number one.
Yeah, it says analysis,
Huh, okay, wait, hold on. Am I looking at the right?
the agenda for tomorrow.
Yeah, for tomorrow.
Yeah,
I tell you, let me share
for
my
the
screen. Let me share my
for the
screen.
Parklet program.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. Thing is, I have you on my phone. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yeah, no, keep going down. Keep
Okay.
going. Yeah. You're gonna, so those are everything
Okay.
on the agenda, right? You've got to open the Parklet one. The Parklet one is number 11.
11. Okay.
Yeah, you have to open that packet
Yep. Okay. Here, let's see.
on the right side where it says download.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, now everyone can see it.
Okay. Now go to page 5
Page 5.
and it's the analysis
Yeah.
and then number 1.
Okay.
You see it?
Yep.
Okay. So you know the story. You were there in 2023. We had all these conversations, and in 2023, I think it was November, City Council decided that both Cal Ave and half of Ramona were going to remain permanently closed to cars so that they are pedestrian-friendly streets. So I am perplexed by the second paragraph of analysis 1, where it says, in the fall of 2024, this year, staff will be initiating stakeholder engagement and evaluating options for the future of Ramona Street, including permanently closing this portion of Ramona Street to vehicular traffic. Based on the stakeholder discussions and council direction, separate outdoor dining guidelines may be developed for this portion of Ramona Street in early 2025, or alternatively, the street may be open to vehicular traffic. This is in total contradiction to what council already decided.
Hmm.
Why did they do this?
It's a good question. So, did you ask staff already to see
No,
what?
because this just came out like it was late. So
Hmm.
there's no one to ask on the weekend.
I see.
But I am going to point it out to council tomorrow because I'm going to be there. And it seems almost like they're ignoring what you all voted for.
Well, it happens actually, unfortunately. So, yeah.
That's not good.
So sometimes, like, so for example, the council voted unanimously for the scooter share program, right? This was years ago. This was over 4 years ago now, and
Yeah,
there's been one excuse after another about why they can't do it, and so, you think a unanimous decision would be pretty easy, right?
yeah.
But no, it's not, right? And unfortunately, sometimes that happens where staff has an opinion about something. They don't necessarily agree with council, and so they will keep revisiting or not do it until council agrees.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's been
so
my
does that
experience.
mean, yeah, it's almost like so Cal Ave and Ramona Street are going to be in a constant ping pong, not knowing where they stand. That's not okay for business owners.
Oh, it's
And
terrible. You can't make
it's
decisions, right?
no, it's really bad. And honestly, I am seeing so many people saying they're totally fed up and it's so much easier to move to another city that's more business friendly. That
Yeah.
scares me because I love Palo Alto and I really want us to have a vibrant city. But how can you have a vibrant city when you can't even get anything done? you
Yeah, I
know?
agree. I agree. I mean, just the red tape. I mean, it's so hard to do business in our city. And I've had
Yes.
so many people say what you just said, which is they're going to go to somewhere else to do business.
Yeah.
And, then we wonder why we have all these retail vacancies. And it's because we make
Yeah.
it tough, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and,
And
I
that's
was,
really what you should focus on. That's what the council needs to focus on and put staff to make it easier because there's never a response on why everything takes so long. And case in point,
yeah,
so, okay, we have had our pedestrian-friendly street for the last 4 years. Okay, it's almost 4 years since 2020. And we've also had parklets. There is absolutely nothing, there's not a clause called grandfathering because we've all like spent all the money, we've done it, we've invested, we've created a public to come there because something must be very clear. Outdoor seating's not just an option. It's demanded by the community. And on sunny days, everyone is outside, not inside. We are not doubling our sales. We're just trying to maintain them, but because of what people want. And that is really important. It seems like there's some kind of fantasy that, oh, they can serve double the amount of people. Well, it doesn't really happen that way. People sit outside on a nice day and they sit inside on a rainy day. All right. It's just an option of where you want to be. And it's really clear how that works if you own a restaurant because we're not making more money, but we are paying the bulk of sales tax to the city. So, and your consultants have proven that, compared to 2019, sales tax has gone back up to original levels because of restaurants primarily. So we are still hanging in there. But if you guys make it so difficult, then it's just like it's time to start looking elsewhere, and I don't want to do that because I love Palo Alto. I love this community. I'm very invested. I have 3 Palo Alto locations and at Stanford and everything. So I think that, you can't just for parklets disregard everything that's been done. The word grandfathering has got to be like brought in, and there cannot be a disregard for everybody's large investments. I really feel for my friends on Emerson that they're going to dig up the street to repave it, and then they're telling them they're not allowed to put back the parklet they already had. Now they have to start inventing the wheel and like throw that out the window, all that money out the window as if money's easy. And it's not. And you understand that, Greg, you know. So I think that we just need to like refocus. The sense of urgency of the city should be for creating proper signage and for the proper barriers on pedestrian friendly street instead of everything takes forever. It
yeah.
cannot be that we are the only city that can put bollards instead of those orange things full of water,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
think I'm totally with you. I think the execution, I mean, are so slow. I mean, it takes forever for any little thing to happen.
Never. I
And
mean, we
it's
could we could hire students from Stanford from, the architecture department and get it done faster.
yeah, yeah.
You
And
know?
I think it's inexcusable because it creates so much uncertainty for businesses, right? I mean,
Yes.
who's able to invest? And the retail business is really low margin. So it's not like you could sit around for years and everything's cool, right?
No, no, it's not. In the restaurant business, sometimes you finish the end of the year with maybe 3% profit. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, you're just covering expenses. And so that's the other thing, now like the focus is, oh, the fees for the parklets and this and that. But what about the extra sales tax that you're going to get because we're able to sell because people want to be outdoors, you
Sure,
know?
sure. Well,
So,
I mean, the city's losing money this year. I don't know if you know that, but we're losing money this year. We're losing money the next year, losing money for the next 4 years. And so we need to stimulate business, right? We need to make it easier. We need to make sure that businesses are
yeah,
thriving, and
and
and and
yeah,
and all the red tape and our total lack of execution, like
yeah.
like University Avenue, or even Ramona Street, like it's like a mini disaster zone. Why can't we? The problem is that it's hard for people to invest because the rule's still not clear. And I asked staff, can you speed it up? And they're like, no, it's gonna take like 5 years. It's like, what the hell? Like who's
Yeah.
gonna be around for that long, right?
Well,
And so,
precisely. People are leaving every day. Look, we just lost a restaurant in Emerson, a Chinese restaurant that was there for like 30 something years
mm,
because they can't make it. And if you read anything, about restaurants, it's sort of like it's too expensive to stay in business, you know? So
yeah,
I mean, this is a reality. And think about it. If restaurants are bringing in the majority of sales tax for the city, you ought to put us on a silver platter right now and not make our lives so miserable. With all the uncertainty, I read this agenda. I'm like, what is this? We talked about this. This was decided. Why is this coming back to the
yeah,
table? And instead of like putting permanent, like the bollards, and let's put some nice signage, let's make the street beautiful, get some more furniture, paint the pavement. Let's make this an in spot, bring in some music on weekends. Make this a happening town
yeah,
instead of just let's come back and make some more rules. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
really.
yeah,
It's very
yeah.
upsetting. And, I wanted to talk to you precisely because I know that you're very sort of like very acute in your thinking and you get this.
Well, I used to, my last company did a lot of work around retail analytics. And so I got to understand retail a bit. And I realized what a tough business it is, right? And, retail businesses, physical retail businesses really thrive on traffic, right? And
Yeah,
in a sense of place. And when you don't do that, the business just crater, right? And
that's right.
that's what's happening, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it used to be Palo Alto was most happening area, right? And now you look at Mountain View, you look at Redwood City, it's just like we haven't been, we
yeah.
not only have we not kept up, but we've been falling, but like we've been going
We're
backwards actually,
falling
right?
behind, and it's because of too much bureaucracy and
Yeah.
not enough effort to move forward quickly. Don't make it so complicated. Enough already with all these consultants.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God,
this
we have,
street.
do you look at the city manager's office? We have the city manager, okay? We have such a small city, but we have one of the largest city manager's office, right? We're spending $1 billion, right? $1 billion. You know, this is like more than like, um, I think it's 5 times more than San Jose. It's like 2x more or 3x more than Mountain View, right?
Yeah,
Per capita, right? I mean,
yeah.
it's insanity, right? Yet we can't get anything done. It's not like I mean, it's one thing we
No.
spend a lot more, I mean, we move really quickly, but no,
Yeah.
we move really slowly.
Well, I mean, just like you can't even put signage after 4 years.
Yeah,
How hard is that? Come
yeah,
on.
yeah, totally agree.
Signage, directing people on Cal Ave to the parking lots, nice signage, pedestrian friendly street, you're welcome. Instead, they put this silly cover on these orange things that says street closed. And then
Yeah,
in tiny little letters, two cars. You can't even read it.
yeah. People think that the street's like not open. That's what they think, right? That's not
Yeah,
open for
yeah,
business. And so
exactly.
it's kind of ridiculous, right? I mean, all the other cities have figured it out like already, right? And
I
so it's like
know.
why
Years
is it taking
ago.
so long?
It just makes no sense. The inefficiency is mind blowing. And the thing is, it's causing a lot of frustration. I spoke with Claudia from Cafe Veneta. And like I told her, you probably want to go to council. They're going to talk about University Avenue. She says, why? They don't listen to anybody. They just do what they want. And she's right. I
Hmm.
get her frustration because we were all on these calls with these consultants, but at one point, and nobody knows when, oh, they decided on a $40 million investment to widen the sidewalks, remove all the parklets off of University Avenue, just so they could widen the sidewalk and then change everything to parallel parking. So in other words, all the restaurants that are the only ones doing business on the street are going to lose their main source of revenue. It's ludicrous. I'm sorry. So and she's frustrated. And I said, Claudia, just, think about it. Really, you should come. You need your voice to be heard.
Yeah, well, I would encourage all retailers to speak up and
Yeah.
to turn our council meetings because we need to put pressure on staff to get things done because this crazy amount of uncertainty that's been going on for years, um,
Yes,
is basically closing our downtown. That's what's happening.
I know. And you can see it. You walk down the street, look at how many vacancies on University
Yeah,
Avenue. It's very sad. It's very sad. And the only life are the restaurants. There's a couple of nice retail shops that we have, but there's a lot of vacancies, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of retail that doesn't really do anything, you know.
I think we have the highest commercial vacancy ever in the city's history right now.
It's true. It's
It's not good.
absolutely true. Entire buildings are empty.
Yeah.
Empty. You know that, multiple of them. So, but that's another theme, obviously. But right now, for me, I want to help my fellow restaurant owners, local union, Orange Homeless, Crepvine, Cafe Venezia, Rue, all of them that they've fought so hard to stay in business. And now they're like with this ominous threat of like this revolution, you want to standardize the permanent parklet program so that everyone looks the same. Well, the buildings don't all look the same. The stores don't all look the same. So why do you want to all of a sudden have a tract housing type of look? It's weird. It
Mm.
makes no sense rather than like understanding. I mean, some of these people invested $100,000 and more. Avia invested way more. And now they're just going to lose it just because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, we need our leaders to like listen, you know. So I'm hoping that tomorrow, there's going to be some good conversation amongst you and that you'll stand up for your businesses and don't lose anymore.
Yeah. No, I
Okay.
totally agree.
All right.
Nancy, we got to jump to our next officer, but thank you so much for
Ooh,
joining us.
can
I
I
really
just
appreciate it.
real quick?
Sure.
Also, the other topic was La Comida.
Hmm.
Yeah, tomorrow, it's a nonprofit. It's the senior nutrition program, and I'm on the board. So we're just hoping that you will listen and help us become it's sort of like a part-time tenant at 445 Bryant Street.
Mm.
Okay, because we do not have a downtown home, and we're serving 100 seniors a day, lunches from Monday through Friday. So we're looking for a space to land so that
Mm.
we can create this, wonderful program for them. These are people who can't afford to feed themselves, okay? And we're doing kind of a job that the city needs to do. So yes. All right.
Okay, Nancy, thank you so much for
Right.
joining. Really appreciate it.
Thank. Okay.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Bye.